everyone, it's Steve again, and welcome back to my backyard. This is my first forest planting from trees that I had just collected, little seedlings growing in my yard, quite a few years ago. I put them in a saucer, a plastic, large flower pot saucer, which I drilled holes in the bottom of, and they've all grown. But this planting has been in a cage to protect the moss because I love it so much. But I think I must deal with that moss now. I certainly don't want to store it for the winter with all of this moss on it. So I think I'm going to harvest some, leave some on, clear it from around the base of the trees, and just generally tidy this up for the winter. This is the front. There are stairs here, which you can barely see at all. Um, if I take away a lot of this moss, I may suffer some erosion, so I've got to be real careful about what I do. And I do like the moss for its retention of moisture, especially on this planting, which is mostly, um, a bonsai aggregate that drains very, very freely. And I keep this outdoors. So this will be the fourth winter in this pot. So I'm very happy with the way this is growing. I last pruned it for a more tight shape. It needs pruning again, but the moss is out of control because I kept it from the birds. I keep a cage on this thing. Those are steps, believe it or not. All right. Needs some cleanup. Needs a lot of growth. But let's get cleaning up. There's some leaves on the soil, some seed pods, some weeds. I'll take some of the moss away from the base of the tree. Always lose some substrate when I do this. But there's some real papery bark down there right now that wants to flake off. And we're going to let it do that. Might even help it along a little bit. I don't know if you can see the bark wanting to flake off on the trunks. Most of these have bark that needs to be cleaned off. These are young trees in the scheme of things. Continuing to weed, clearing away from the base of the trees. I'll make some more decisions about how much more moss I want to take away. But this is insane. So if I get big pieces of moss, I'm going to dry it out and try and experiment in the spring, grinding it up with dried sphagnum moss and then sprinkling it on my surfaces in the springtime and hope I get some good moss just growing on its own. You know, this is by far not pot bound, in need of no change of planting container. So just want to make it look good. I'm going to have to trim away a lot of this, but it is just beautiful stuff. God. Every place. This is a different type of moss here. Seems to be more firmly anchored. And it drapes. It drapes over the edges of things. Look at it on this rock. Very pretty. Like a little vine. That's a bonus. Unexpected pleasure. You got to learn what the little plants do. Use them to your advantage. It's not all the trees. It's the whole thing, especially in a forest planting. So I have some great artistic vision that I don't know if I will ever be able to complete, but it's kind of a lifelong ambition, and maybe I can do it now that I have nothing else to do but play around with my trees, putter around the house, play with my dog Luca. I don't have a boss to please. I don't have staff to keep busy. I just have my trees, my house, my family. It's a great time, and I am enjoying it. I highly recommend it. Okay, so that has the trees cleared up. Here's one, didn't get any moss on it. Okay, another weed right here. Okay, got it. A few more little ones. Young clover looks pretty, but then it's not young anymore, and you can't see anything but it. If you have ambition to try a forest planting, always remember that when you're building it up like this, if you intend to build it up, you've got to retain this mound here some way. This rock was an afterthought. I thought I had this um, kind of compressed with muck, but nothing was growing on it. I couldn't keep it from drying out and flaking off. Um, and lots of things eroded from here. So keep that in mind. Some lightweight retainer on one side can give a planting like this a lot of depth um, and a lot of illusion, which if you don't have, you miss it. So I'm keeping on clearing away the base of these trees. All right, I'm going to go fast motion through this. I thought I'd slow the video down for just a minute to point something out that I hope you can see. These trees, these two in particular, are on the edge of a rock. And that was planted like that on purpose. But I really feel the need to be extremely cautious as I'm picking away the moss here, because some of these little extensions are roots clinging to the rock. And that is something I want to develop on its own and, with great stability. And we're not there yet. This tree still moves right there. So I think I'm just going to clear away with my fingers whatever I can get here and just hope for the best. I have a similar situation here. This one is a little bit more anchored further down, but I don't dare expose those roots just yet, just in case some little hangers on, some little things keeping it hanging on get disturbed and some stability is lost. I don't want that at all. This needs to solidify right where it is. And then this is all rock right here, so whatever's growing there needs to be exposed at some point. There's root all under here as well. Okay, now I've got to try and do something to tame this moss. I know I said bonus, but this particular moss requires a lot of maintenance. I was trying to do that so that you all could see it better, but my arms just don't bend that way. So let's go this way. I'm aiming to reveal the stairs. They're not perfectly done in terms of scale, but hey, not bad for a first try. I'll pick this all away once I've severed it. And on this side, I think it's just a matter of sculpting. This is the erosion prevention as it currently exists. Wow. Stuff is tenacious. top step is loose. I've noticed that for quite some time, but you know, haven't done anything about it. It's the great conundrum. What do you spend your time on? No, no question that I would like to spend more time doing this. No question. I got to get some brushes of some kind. Maybe old 1-inch paint brushes would be best, actually. Um, okay, what do I do? I have this little scissors. Nigel, you said you use a surgical scissors. I'm unable to find anything that suits my fancy locally. So I found this little curved scissors. I don't know what it's for, eyebrows or something. Hurts my fingers to use it, but hey, it's getting the job done. Just to keep this away from the lip of the pot. I think I am going to let it stay in place. I originally said I would try and, well, maybe I'll remove pieces of it. But like I said, where it's helping with erosion, I don't dare remove it because the erosion is pretty severe. You know, like big sections kind of wash away. Not something I'm looking forward to. So, is this sculpting nicely? I need a bigger scissors. Bigger curved scissors. Curved scissors is definitely the way to go here. I need one that doesn't hurt me to use. Okay. Okay. This one's a little damaged. I pressed it in. Probably came loose when I lifted my cage off of this. Which I didn't do in front of you because, I don't know. I don't like anyone to know I cage my trees, I guess. Okay. Let's see if it'll cut this way. Yes, it will. I'm realizing I better sweep up a lot of this moss before my dog realizes it's there. He goes for the greens. And these are pretty green. Okay, I swept that up. I guess I didn't want to use this scissors because I don't want to be cutting into rocks. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let's see if I can make some progress with this. No. Time to take back the little scissors again and start chopping away with that. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful about the drippings. Okay. Do not love the results here, but hopefully it'll fluff back up again. Maybe I'm just taking too big bites. Okay. My erosion dam is still intact. Contact with the trees is diminished. In this area. Continuing around though. This might be good. Boy, it started out as a very rainy day, and it's turned into quite a sunny afternoon. I had some heat going in here, and I do not need. Okay. I'll go back. I'll go back into fast mode. Okay. Next, I want to look around the trees for some obvious pruning that needs doing. Let's start with this tree. I hate calling it my main tree because it lost a lot of growth right here. I probably made a wrong decision or two. But I want to preserve what's here. So this bend was caused by the cage that I put around this, as well as this bend here. So what do I want to do about it? I like that branch, but it does come straight out. So if I cut it off here and gin the branch, I no longer have that problem. This, I guess I don't mind. I can encourage the vertical growth, get like a cathedral happening. Sticks out a little bit far. I see plenty of buds. I feel okay about taking some tips off at this time of year. Doesn't seem to be much that you can do to Eastern Red Cedar to kill it. At least that's been my experience. This is all pretty stiff wood at this point. I guess I could move it around if I wanted to. This is a little cluttered here. Keep the good branches. Take out the bad ones. I don't know what's hitting my greenhouse with regularity there. Okay. It's still a little cluttered here. Here's some stuff growing in some branches. This little thing interferes. Off it comes. I've got longer growth here. I don't need this upper stuff. And what I'm trying to do is get this thing ready for its spring flush. I don't want to do a lot, and I do want to let the trees tell me what they want to do. But I was just looking for some obvious stuff. Over here, got a weak branch there. There's some growth on that. There's also a bud up top here, so I'm not gonna go crazy on that. My plan all along with this tree was to let this branch dominate eventually. So I still think I'm not going to do anything with this branch except take out some stuff that is growing in the wrong direction. Okay, this tree, pretty compact. There's something interfering. Just going to shorten that. Another interfering branch. I'm going to shorten that. This top is getting kind of broad, but I don't really want to do too much. We've got a parallel situation happening here. Which one do I want? I'm going to take the lower one, take this upper one off. It thins that out. This is competing with the apex a little bit, also competing with the other tree. I see a good place to shorten it. I think I can go even further. Okay, just reduce this down a bit. Not being drastic here. Sideways branch, cluttering things up. Another one. One growing toward the inside of the tree. Just a little simplification. This tree was thinned out already. I see some place where it's ramified. I'm just going to take the tip off of that. Tip off of that one. Tip off of this one. The top looks good. Still pretty compact, which is good. Some of these lower branches are getting shaded out, but that's okay. All right, this little guy, he's got a lot of buds. I think just want to leave it, although the top is a little bent down. I'll take the tip off the top. See what happens. Okay, that's got these 3 trees pruned up. This one I said I was going to leave and not mess with. Okay, here we've got one. Got a great bend to it. I think it just needs some simplification at the apex. From the front, I'm looking at the front. I like all right. Just going to take the top off of this. And this upward facing branch there. Take the tip off of that. And the tip off of this. I got a branch growing right toward the back that isn't doing anything for anybody. So I'm just going to take that off. I like this, but it's competing in height with the apex of this side of the forest, as is this. So It's coming down to here. All right, that's well, maybe to here. Okay. Before I started making these videos, I still talk to myself, pretty much just like I'm doing right now. So why waste it? No interference here. With what? Okay, I think this is the better branch to cut. With this tree, I'm going to shorten this back. I've got some sidewood growth here, 2 branches. This is a bit cluttered here. Bit of clutter there. And here. Well, you get the idea. Let me speed this up a little. Okay, just to sum up what I've done today, I just cleaned up the landscape and I tried to make a little bit more of a pleasing canopy, overall canopy shape. This planting has a definite front, but my goal is to make it look good from all angles. It has a lot of growing to do in terms of the trees. This one was a little loose. I put some stakes in there, and I don't know if you can see that. I put some stakes in here and I tie wrapped it at the top. So we'll see what happens there. I might have done that a little too tight. I'll try that again off camera. So that's it. Thank you for joining me in my backyard. My name is Steve, and I'll see you next time.